Elephant Man Podcast Network, grown man conversation dealing with elephants in the room. It's your man DBZ. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell so you can know when new material is coming out. Also join us on Facebook /Elephant Man Podcast, IG Elephant Man _podcast, and then find us Elephant Man Podcast Network on YouTube. What's going on, everybody? We in a week within 2021, and I just wanted to share this little year in review 2021, and then got some things from about this year. So it's going to be very, very interesting year. So let's go right into this little video that I got. It's a year in review 2021. Let's share that real quick so you can see it.
I'm scared. I'm a bit nervous, but I think. It wasn't so bad. You did great.
More than 2 billion COVID-19 vaccines administered worldwide.
Halfway vaccinated.
I'm getting the Moderna
AstraZeneca shot.
J&J vaccine.
As millions get vaccinated, many reunions are happening around the country.
It's been a very long time and so much life has happened.
You're going to have the best night you've had for a very long time.
We've all been through something collectively.
It's been such a difficult time.
And it's even harder pretending like everything's normal when it's not.
$700,000 people quit retail jobs.
As the so-called Great Resignation picked up speed.
They just didn't care about me anymore.
There is not a shortage of jobs. There is a shortage of decent jobs.
The shortage of products has extended to just about everything.
Big shortage of lumber.
Shortage of snowblowers.
And a shortage of microchips.
Look at those bones.
Can you not, please?
The growing backlog in the global supply chain.
A giant container ship wedged from bank to bank.
Guys on Reddit get rich off GameStop while bankrupting a bunch of hedge funds.
It's been a fun ride with GameStop.
A few things I'm not a cat.
It just shows how much power the rich people have.
What is an NFT?
Sold for nearly $70 million. Literally sending Dogecoin to the moon.
Anyone with enough money can become an astronaut.
Looking down to our beautiful, beautiful Earth.
We need some of the world's greatest brains fixed on trying to repair this planet, not trying to find the next place to go and live.
The report is very clear. We expect to see new extremes that are unprecedented in magnitude, timing, or in regions that have never encountered those types of extremes.
The most affected people in the most affected areas still remain unheard.
Myanmar has been under political chaos since junta-led military coup ousted the elected government.
Farmers in India are marking a year since they began the biggest protests in the country's modern history.
The deadly conflict between Israeli forces and Palestinians continues.
The
government of Ethiopia has been locked in a year-long war with the Tigray People's Liberation Front.
A sudden wave of thousands of migrants has sparked a humanitarian crisis at the US-Mexico border.
How can you do that to human being, to other human beings?
It's time for American troops to come home.
It's a
very, very busy situation right now.
They broke the glass in the United States Capitol, and now they are climbing through the window.
The world is watching in horror.
We will never give up. We will never concede. These people coordinated on open parts of the internet, on Instagram, on Facebook.
These platforms are not merely mirroring humanity. They're making all of us our worst selves.
I am proud to announce that starting today, our company is now Meta.
People really underestimate the power of misinformation.
People who've had these shots and now they're magnetized.
This is becoming a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
People haven't related to it. You see the figures, the daily figures, and their nameless faces.
India is being ravaged by a second wave
of COVID-19 is threatening to overwhelm the country's health systems.
We don't have anything, and patients are dying.
A person cannot live
Here in Delhi, a person cannot even die peacefully in Delhi.
Vaccine inequality cannot be allowed to continue.
Omicron is spreading at a rate we have not seen with any previous variant.
The more this virus spreads, the more likely it is for a very dangerous variant to emerge.
We're in this together, and the only way we're going to conquer this virus is by working together.
They've agreed to share the gold medal.
Just because you're a female, it doesn't mean you can't accomplish the biggest of goals.
The Philippines, first ever Olympic gold medal.
Put your mental health first. It doesn't matter if you're on the biggest stage. That's more important than any other medal you could win.
There are so many people who are afraid to voice that they need help.
To truly choose to love is heroic.
Chile's Congress has passed a bill allowing same-sex couples to marry.
Britney Spears is free.
Hardly any of these police ever go to prison.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty.
And I'm so happy. I'm so happy right now.
With the Asian American community, enough is enough. We're just fed up.
What I really hope that this movie can do is show Asian kids that it's okay to take up space where they are because they belong.
I know where I'm headed in life. I know what my future is going to look like.
When something says Taylor's version, that means I own it.
Rock and roll never dies!
There are people who don't believe that women can be better presidents, and we are here to show them.
Taking its first steps in pursuit of cosmological discovery.
Touchdown confirmed. We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour, but within it we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. So, while once we asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe? Now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us?
Wow. A lot happened. A lot happened that we forgot about or didn't know about. A lot happened this past year, man. Crazy, man. Well, I know this is pretty much 2022 news about the riots at the Capitol. They're going back and forth, him and Han, and going to court and all this. None of them got prosecuted at all. You know, the Great Resignation. I think that's very, very interesting. To resigning from the job, but they're trying to do a global reset. I'm gonna put that book in the chat, but they're trying to get a global reset anyway, and cashless society and universal basic income and a lot of different things coming down the pipe. These are not conspiracy theories. These guys got books about this, but you know. So one thing we got to do, we do have to get more responsible and vet our sources of where stuff come from, and you know. Because everything is not misinformation. Just because it goes against the popular narrative don't mean that it's misinformation, you know. Yeah, the Great Resignation, then the shortage thing was just like the explanation of why it was a shortage was like incredible. Oh, we don't have enough drivers because of the Great Resignation. Oh, we don't have enough people to unload the ships. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I just don't believe it, you know. But in order to tip the scale, to make the rich richer and the poor poorer, in order to remove or eliminate or weaken the middle, quote unquote, middle class, and just only have a high class, you know, upper echelon, high class, and a low class, you got to cripple and take out that middle because people's making bread, right? Alibaba getting their stuff from overseas, from China, and all these different pop-up shops and a lot of different things. People was making 6 figures and 7 figures even during the pandemic. You know what I mean? So, but if you stop the supply, slow down the supply chain, or stop it altogether, then cats that can't get their supplies and they can't serve their customers, which means it will cripple them. A lot of businesses over the last 2 years never reopened their doors because they was quote unquote non-essential, you know, and so they had to close their doors for good, you know. Unlike a big box company, a Target or a Walmart or something, a Meijer, they, Kroger, they big change. You know what I mean? So if something happened to them, we got not only insurance money, but we got a lot of franchises. But if you got a mom and pop store and they consider you non-essential, and you put blood, sweat, tears into the brick and mortar storefront, and then folk can't come patronize it, you can't pay your bills, you can't pay your back bills, you can't pay your current employees, and it just fold. You know what I mean? You just couldn't, they just had PPP loans and all. Everybody didn't get loans. And a lot of the people who was cool, they got taken care of first. So that's very, very, very interesting with the shortage thing. I just believe it's something fishy, man. Very, very fishy. So also, I guess this is pretty much, well, Betty White. This was going to be People's, was come out on January the 10th. They already had made a cover. This was they changed it. They said Betty White turns 100. You know what I mean? And she ended up dying on December 31st before her birthday, which is, I think, this week or next week or something. They already had the cover out. You know what I mean? So no man know the day, the hour when you know. So we just got to be ready and not be, getting ready, And also Sidney Poitier, I guess this would be considered the beginning of 2020 news. Sidney Poitier died, you know what I mean? Very, very, prolific actor in the 60s and the 70s. It wasn't a lot of black representation in the 60s and the 70s. Very far few in between. And he came out and, he did a lot of different movies and films and television programs. So, yeah, those are two people that, people know about. Betty White from the Golden Girls. It's crazy how you print this off. Now they got to change the cover and they ain't never make it. You never know the day of the hour when you check out or he cracked that sky. So we just got to be ready. So that's just pretty much it, man. The year in review. Let me know in the subscriptions. Let me know in the comment section. How was your year 2021? There was a lot of deaths, a lot of uncertainty, but then it also was some victories as well, And so we just got to continue to lift each other up. Also lift up Dr. Trevor, Dennis, Hebrew Apostolic in London. I mean, not London, but England. And he went to had some complications with C19 and went to an induced coma and stuff. Just real crazy. So we lifted him up. We believe in the Most High. Isaiah 53:5. It says Isaiah 53:5. He was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. So we believe in the Most High for healing. Elephant Man Podcast Network, Grown Man Conversations, dealing with elephants in the room. Let me know what's going on with your what happened in your 2021. We got some other things coming up the pipe. I was holding off, but I can't hold off no more. I'm going to go ahead and do it. This one right here, part 2 of Modern Medicine. If you haven't seen part 1, you got to check it out. This is part 2, Nipsey, Nick, and CB. And very, very interesting information. Elephant Man Podcast Network, Grown Man Conversation, dealing with elephants in the room. Subscribe, like, share, and I am out. Perfect.